our great masters. Good evening.
Yes,
And
good evening.
hearty fraternity greetings to one and all. This evening, I am delighted again for receiving an opportunity to share my insights on Madam H.P. Blavatsky on the eve of H.P. Blavatsky's 191st birth anniversary. I am also render my true appreciation to Madam Leena Bajaj for giving me mic to speak tonight. Having conveyed my deep regards of receiving today's slot, let me take the pleasure in humbly commencing the session about the topic thought power. Before commencing this, I would like to give some brief information or explanation about the secret doctrine. Actually, the aim of the secret doctrine that is written by Madam Blavatsky, that is the magnum opus. Why it has happened and why masters? I said that Madam Blavatsky has unveiled with the cooperation of great masters, Master Moria, Master Kothami, Master Dwalkul, and as well as Saint Master Count Saint Germain. And why they have done with the help of why they have done this? What's the purpose behind that? Why they have made Madam Blavatsky to unveil all these things, all the ancient, most of the ancient wisdom. Let me see, tell some explanation about this. The aim of the masters to show the existence of ancient religion from which all the spiritual traditions of past and present began. This idea was not new in human history. Many philosophers and mystics had proposed it. However, it had been forgotten in the Western society of 19th century. Fascinated with the fast developing science and technology and influenced by the Darwinian theory of evolution, educated people tended to regard the past as a period of ignorance and underdevelopment from which little could be learned, and this little could be learned. This Western influence was also beginning in the East and branding their teachings as superstition. Masters wanted to revive the spiritual revival in the East and West. For this purpose, they selected Madam Blavatsky and sent her around the world to collect the ancient wisdom. So today, it is widely recognized that there was a wisdom in the past cultures and religions. East also revalued its ancient teachings and accepting existence of perennial philosophy accepted by many Westerners like Michael Handel, Alice Bailey, Annie Besant. All these people, again, they have started to continue their work upon this ancient wisdom. And Alice Bailey continued after Madam Blavatsky. Madam Blavatsky was died in 1891. in London on May 8th. So this recently May 8th as is considered as White Lotus Day in the Theosophical Society. They will uh, celebrate that, remember the day as White Lotus Day because she has lived like White Lotus. That is why they have made it as White Lotus Day. Okay, coming to our today's topic, that is thought power. Thought power, divine thought, and power of thought are all are very interesting subjects actually. We as people, we cannot live without thoughts. Thoughts will always pervading us, and actually the beginners of initiation, that is for meditation, will struggle with this problem actually. Masters will tell them to be thoughtless and sit, but it will not be happen. Thoughts will continue to come. So that's the power of, that is the power of a thought. So actually, but this power of thought, what Madam Blavatsky referred this power of thought. Let us see. Power of, can human mind affect the matter? Does the thought has any reality of its own? Majority of scientist community will not accept this statement. Although this subject was considered in different philosophies and religions throughout the ages. Its exposition was either too mythical or too obscure to be taken for the rationality. Madam HPV, shortly we can call for Madam Blavatsky, Helena Petrovna Blavatsky, explain this subject in an understandable and rational way. Let us see the theosophical explanation about the thought and the matter, that how thought can affect the matter. In the Secret Doctrines, Madam HPV wrote that at the root of the manifested cosmos, there exists two fundamental principles. One is universal mind, number two is cosmic nature. According to it, nothing that happens in the universe is the product of chance and blind force, but it is directed by the ultimate intelligence, that is laws of nature. This concept this concept implies that these two principles are not separate, but can supplement on each other. How does this take place? There is a bridge. HPV wrote, by which the ideas existing in a divine thought are impressed on cosmic substance. The cosmic energy, the creative power that works under the guidance of the universal mind. The theosophical teaching says that every force in the universe is also present in the human beings. And according to HPV, he also has a creative capacity because having inherited the nature of unknown but palpable cause must possess in his inner psychical self this creative and in lesser degrees. So the everything and every human being in the universe possess the latent energies, latent energies. But only thing is that it is not strong. They are in lesser degrees. Unless it is awakened by yogic training, it would remain dormant. So these latent energies can be awakened with the help of some super forces. They are called, in our Hinduism, they are called Icha Shakti, that is divine will, and Kriya Shakti, that is power of thought. With the help of these things, human beings can achieve the power of what they wanted to achieve in the achieve what they wanted to achieve. So for this to relate the I will tell you a story relating to our today's topic. That is, a teacher and his student were going to a village. They were walking through a forest. Suddenly, they heard a roar behind them. They turned heads in the direction of the roar. They saw a tiger following them. The first thing the student wanted to do was to run away. But being an obedient student, practicing self-discipline, he was able to stop himself and wait to see what his teacher would do. He asked the teacher, "What shall we do, master?" with a shiver. The teacher looked at the student and answered in a calm voice, "There are several options. We can fill our minds with fear so that we can't move. Let the tiger do with us whatever pleases it. Then we can let ourselves faint. We can also run away, but then it will run after us. We can fight it, but physically the tiger is strong than us. We can pray God to save us. We can also send the tiger our love. This is another option. And there is one more option that we can choose to influence the tiger with the power of our mind. However, it requires strong concentration. We can focus and meditate on the inner power that is within us and feel that we are one with the entire universe, including the tiger. And in this way, we influence its soul. Okay, then the student asked the teacher, "Which option do you choose? You are the master. You tell me what to do. We don't have much time." Then master turned his gaze fearlessly towards the tiger, emptied his mind from the thoughts, and entered a deep state of meditation. In his consciousness, he embraced everything in the universe, including the tiger. In this state of consciousness, the teacher became one with the consciousness of tiger. Meanwhile, the student started to shiver with fear, as the tiger was already quite close, ready to make leap at them. He was amazed at his teacher, how he could stay calm and detached in the face of danger. Meanwhile, the teacher continued to meditate without fear. After a little while, the tiger gradually lowered its head and tail, turned around, and went away. The student was astonished and asked the teacher, "What did you do?" Then Master said, "Nothing. I just cleared all the thoughts from my mind and united myself in spirit with the tiger. We became united in peace on the spiritual level. The tiger sensed the inner calmness and peace and unity and felt no fear, no threat or need to show violence. When the mind is silent and calm, its peace is also automatically transmitted to everything and everyone around and influence them deeply," concluded the teacher. So this is the power of thought. Even in any time of calamity or danger, we can keep ourselves in a thoughtless condition and do meditate. We can achieve the goal. So thank you. And one more thing, actually, our universe has happened out of thought only. This thought is for thought only form the other forms. And universe is a creation of cosmic mind. The origin of thought of universe is thought. From thoughts, forms came. The universe is not mental creation of living mind. One single organized thought of cosmic mind has materialized as the appearing universe. This universe is an outcome of the divine will, look like real through the faculties of the mind. There is no such thing as time. There is only soul consciousness. Thank you.
Correct. Very good, sir. The line and the teacher narration was very beautiful.
Yes, sir.
Yes, that's what they say. Thought power.
Yes, sir. Thought power. We can hypnotize people with our
Yes.
thoughts. Yes, sir.
There is one saying,
Mm.
what you sow, that you reap.
Yes.
The same thing applies to thought.
Yes.
Here, what you sow, you will get. If you sow banana, you will get banana. Only one time.
Yes.
Only in your one life. But if you what you sow your thoughts in your subconscious mind, not only this life, you will get in all your life same thing. So if you are filling your subconscious mind with negative things, the
Once
next birth will be also negative. But you clear everything here and put positive when you are in the life of human being, that all the other life, future life also will be. So it is said, what is so in the subconscious mind, you will reap in this life and all future life.
yes, sir.
So thought power is more powerful than what
Yes.
we do on the earth by sowing some seed and getting this.
Thought is an energy, actually.
Yes.
Thought is an energy.
Thought power
Not a
plus
thought power.
talking power, both are very powerful.
Thought is an energy. When we think we aim something, then the will come actually. Divine will come first.
Yes.
Divine will come. Will become manifest as the thought. And
Universal
if we
universal
yes,
creates
if we
echo of the
focus
thought.
continuous, yes, sir. Divine and thought, will and thought are both like sisters.
Correct.
They are so strong. And if we focus on very strongly on them, it will definitely materialize. The matter will materialize.
Yes, correct.
Yes, sir. And one more thing I would like to share about, I just now I am remembering from the biography of Paramahamsa Yogananda. I will tell you that I would like to share that also. Because
Yes, yes, you can.
one time when Paramahamsa Yogananda, before meeting Yukteswara Giri Baba, he was in that spiritual way only. He was searching for gurus, many gurus. He was going one by one. He was testing. He was not pleasing with the gurus. And at that time, and in those times, what happened? Uh, uh, they wanted to go somewhere. Means he wanted to go somewhere. He and his friend. Actually, these two people are like childhood friends. Actually, they were studied both in the school, right from the school. The boy was fascinated with the spiritualism of Paramahamsa Yogananda, and he was attracted to Babaji Paramahamsa, and he also used to go with him wherever he goes. Along with him, he also used to go. One time, what happened? They don't have money at all, but they wanted to travel by train. They don't have single paisa. His friend was very worrying. We don't have single paisa, and we have to travel to that much far. How can we go? Paramahamsa Yogananda told that he cajoled the boy. He was worrying actually. Cajoled boy, don't worry, everything will happen according to the will. So they started, they set out for the travel. One man came to the railway station and he offered lot of food items and which are sufficient for 3 days. So the food purpose is over. And now about money, and he gave money also. So you please keep this for your expenditure. Like that he gave. So those two, what they wanted to, what that boy was worrying for was fulfilled. That is what Paramahamsa Yogananda will tell the boy. Why you are worrying about all these things? When Divine Mother is there, she will not leave the children like this. She will take care of all these things. And when there is a will, there is a thought. Ma'am, Divine Mother will listen to all this and she will provide all these things. Like that, he will tell that boy, he will cajole the boy. So that's the story actually. This comes out of thought only.
Correct, correct.
Yes, sir. One more thing, when he was very small boy, he was in the terrace and he was playing with her sisters, and he was he was observing some kites are flying on the sky, and immediately he wanted to see. He wanted that kite to come to his lap. It also will happen. It also will happen through the thought power.
Yeah, 2 times.
Yes, the kites will come to his lap. That is also through his thought power only. Yes, sir.
It happened 2 times. One time
Yes, sir.
kite came,
Yes,
your
sir.
sister, his sister
Yes.
told it may be look. Now you do second time also. So
Yes,
he did
sir.
second time also. And
Yes,
the kite came second time also.
yes, sir.
Yes. That book is
Uh,
very good, very fine book.
Yes, sir. Biography of
Yeah,
Paramahansa Yogananda.
actually, I have played audio for that book, but I don't know. I forgot to continue that.
Okay. Mm. I have at home, sir.
I also have book.
Okay. And I would like to show.
I have given to your sister also that book. I think.
Oh, uh, okay. Swarnalata.
Yeah, Swarnalata.
Yeah. And I would like to share the pictures of Madam H.P. Blavatsky.
Yes, yes, correct.
This is Madam H.P. Blavatsky, and some more pictures I have. Some, and she is H.P. Blavatsky. She went around the world for 3 times in 20 years to get the ancient wisdom of different pillars, different religions, different cultures of past and present. And she had all these things. The masters will have instructed her to make it as a book. So in 1875, she first book, that is she written Isis Unveiled. She shared her experiences about that Isis Unveiled. She told that she had not it has not come from her mind. It is not in organized way. It is like stanzas. And she has taken from the book, ancient book. It is not at all available in any library, any place in the world, around the world. It is very secret book. It is maintained by our White Brotherhood, that is Intergalactic Masters. That is, those people, those masters only will maintain that book. So from that book, she took a corner of she unveiled a corner of the book. That is in the book, the name of the book is Zion. Zion, and the language was, that is, before Sanskrit, there was one language was there. So we think Sanskrit is the oldest primitive language, but before that, there was one language, that is Sensor. That Sensor language, it was written in Sensor language. And she copied from that Sensor language. And she made it in English. She chose as a medium of language is English only. It is Allegorian language. English only is called allegory. In it means in allegory style. She wrote in an allegory style. What she shared her experience about Isis and is, she has never it has not come from her mind. The readings are going like the book readings go like a computer, how the scroll will go, in the computers. Like that it will go, and she will see that and she will copy. She will, and some also will come. Audios also will come. She will listen to that and copy. Like that only she wrote that Isis Unveiled. What she humbly presented the book it was, she told that I have not written this book. I have compiled all the wisdom, all the means whatever I got from that ancient wisdom. I compiled all the facts, and made it as a book. But she herself thought it is completely full of confusion, because it has not come through from thought. It has not come from thought. If we think when we start our writing our book, it would be in an organized way. We think about it and we contemplate about it, and then we start writing. But Isis Unveiled, it's not happened like that. It has come through direct, like a computer screen. She copies, that's all. And she herself thought it's very confusing. Then she wanted to make it in a clarified, in a clear way. And then she started one more book. To clear that Isis Unveiled, she wanted to give clarification. But clarification, what happened? It itself became another book. The two volumes. And that 2 volumes, 1 and 2. And that before she died, 2 volumes were printed. Before that means she died in 1891. It came for printing in 1888. And one more reason for secret doctrine is that though she searched and she went around and she collected all the ancient wisdom from different religions, different cultures, different museums, different jungles. She went to jungle. She is such a independent and means a fearless lady. She is actually. Her father was a captain, military captain. That is why she has the teams. She's such a fearless lady. She go alone through the jungles and to caves. And in 1850s, in those days, women are not permitted to go alone, actually. Go alone to travel. But the lady is very independent and fearless. And she alone traveled and got all the information from the caves, jungles, museums, and different cultures. She had to spend with sorcery people. She doesn't know that in some islands, she was entangled with some thieves. She did not know that they are thieves. She had to suffer all these things to collect all this information. And she went to and she gave all the one thing in our Ramayana, even till today we don't know. Even have not seen in any Indian heritage books about Ramayana. Means as far I know, there are 3 root races. Total, there are 7 races given by Madam Blavatsky. That is, number 1, Polaris, Hyperborean, Lemurians, and Atlantis, and Aryans. We are living now in 5th race, that is Aryans. We are Aryans. And 6th and 7th race also is yet to come. And we people think that the Sri Lanka is real Sri Lanka, where Raman was there ruling that Sri Lanka. No. In the universe is continuing her journey from 30 crores years. So in these times, before that, in every yuga, some places will become oceans, some places will become lands, like that. So what happened? So universe, every time universe, once in a while, universe changes. Pralaya will come, again new universe come, like that. So it like that, India was permanent. India was there from yugas. India has not means it has not destroyed. India is not destroyed. India is there. So Ram belongs to Aryan root race. and Ravan is belongs to Atlantis race. After Atlantis only Aryan came, and before that Lemurians age. Lemurians, eh, Hanuman belongs to Lemurian, and this Sri Lanka, now what we call today, is actually it was in the Pacific Ocean. In those times, Pacific Ocean was the land. That Pacific Ocean, now it became ocean. Uh, the Ravan was ruling that place as Sri Lanka, not this. No, well, not we are looking in the map. That is not the Sri Lanka. So these are the facts given by Madam Blavatsky only in her Isis Unveiled and the secret documents. These things, even we are belongs to see Bhagavad Gita and this cosmos, the creation of cosmos, universe, cosmos, all are history, all are given in referred in Upanishads. We have lot heritage, is lot. Bhagavad Gita, Mahabharata, and Bhagavatam, everywhere they will refer this universe and cosmos and this Srishtikram, like that. Everything, everywhere they will give. So in Eastern philosophy, we know all these things, but we don't know the intricate things like all these things, like how what I told now, what I revealed now. These things were revealed by Madam Blavatsky. We thought those people are, Hanuman, Ravan, and Ram, all are belonging to same age. No, not like that. Hanuman was very old man. Means he was, it's a different age, different root race, actually. It's a different root race. He belongs to that. And Ravan was in Atlantis root race. So these are given revelations given by. It's a very fantastic book, and at the same time, it's full of confusion. For that, she gave one key also. She wrote again one more key to philosophy. So how to read the secret doctrines, secret doctrine. How to read secret doctrine. She gave one key also. She prepared one key. According to that, we can read. It would be fantastic if we open, if we want to learn about, look about, not learn, look about the sun, means our planet sun is not actually planet, is a star. Is a star, and she will give explanations in all the different cultures, like from Persian cultures, from Greek culture, from Hebrew culture, from Indian culture, that is Hindu culture, from Puranas, and some more ancient lores. From all these things, she give reference, and it would be very fantastic. If we want to look at single thing, we will get all the knowledge, entire knowledge of world philosophy, complete knowledge of world philosophy. So that is the greatness of Madam Blavatsky. Today is her birthday. It's a very great opportunity for me to speak about Madam Blavatsky's secret doctrine. And for this new age, how it relates to our new age also she gave, like thought power, how I told. And thank you.
Very good. You have good knowledge. You can
Thank you.
read all those books.
I keep on talking. I don't want to. I want to others to Share their idea. Share their
You
views.
said about Ravana and Hanumana.
Yes,
But
yes.
Hanumana, I know he's a very old, some
Yes.
thousands and thousands of year old from Rama. But about
Yes.
Ravana, I don't know. It was a new
Okay.
thing for me.
Okay. Hmm.
Okay. Thank you, madam,
Thank
for
you,
your
sir. Thank you.
passing good knowledge.
And not like that, sir. I don't have that much. I don't even. I am not able to read the secret doctrine. If I read secret doctrine, I will accept it. That okay. I have some knowledge,
You,
not complete.
you try to read that, madam. That will
Yes.
be having more secret. No?
Right. Okay.
So you try hard that.
Thank you.
At
Thank you,
least.
ma'am. Thank
Yes.
you.
Thank you, madam.
Hinuja ji.
Yes.
Thank you.
Thank
Thank
you.
you.
हरिओम हरिओम सबको।
Hari Om.
आज का सत्संग यही समाप्त करते हैं। कल फिर मिलेंगे रात को 10 बजे। धन्यवाद।